views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
Hey everybody, I'm the Dr. Bob Lee. Welcome to Open BXRX. Kick off your shoes and relax your feet. We've got a lot in store for you. In fact, coming up on today's show, we'll hit you off like this. We'll speak with an author whose mentorship work is having a profound impact on the lives of many in our community. Then we'll hear from an important member of the Democratic National Committee as he shares his thoughts on Inauguration Day, a historic day in our country. Plus, we'll speak with an entrepreneur about an online store and how he is helping people achieve holistic lifestyles. And then watch out, Bobby C has the latest in the world of sports. And then we'll hear from two honorees who have greatly impacted their communities in major ways during the pandemic, and from the organization that is recognizing their efforts. All of this and more is headed your way. Stand by. We're open. Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're listening. Thank you. We appreciate you. I'm your host, Dr. Bob Lee, and you're watching Open. It's that live interactive program that brings the Bronx and New York City straight to your TV set. You can stay connected to us through social media at BronxNet TV. Now, leading things off, we have an award-winning volunteer. She's a mentor, a nonprofit professional, an author who joins us to speak about the importance of thank you. Thank You Mentor Day, which she celebrates every month, and we all do too. And she's here to speak about her new book also, Put Life into Your Dreams. Watch out. Please welcome to the show, Janice Jenkins. Welcome.
Hi, good morning, Dr. Bob. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you too. All right, so you're acknowledging the Mentor Day that's celebrated this month, and you have that information on your new book.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yes. So back in 2002, the Mentor National Office and the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health started a campaign called National Mentoring Month. They designated January as National Mentoring Month. So during the month of January, there are different activities that go on to talk about the importance of mentoring and to honor mentors. One of the days that is highlighted during this campaign month is Thank Your Mentor Day. And this year, Thank Your Mentor Day will be on Friday, January 29th. So it's a wonderful opportunity to express gratitude for all of those who have mentored us, those who have provided guidance to us, along the way. So it's a day that I really appreciate because it gives me an opportunity to really sit down and just, think about all of the individuals, the teachers and the counselors and neighbors and everyone who has provided guidance to me, throughout my youth and growing up and even throughout my career.
Yeah, and you've done some work recently in regards to the mentorship programs and mentorship month. Tell us about it.
So I am in the process of releasing a second book. My book is titled Put Life into Your Dream. And I dedicate my book to my mentors because, again, they gave me the encouragement that I needed to become a writer. So I thought that it was very important to acknowledge them. In the book, I have a couple of blog posts specifically about mentoring. And I am also currently a mentor. The young professional that I mentor, she's in the human services field, and she also works with young people. And we've had a mentoring relationship for about 8 years. So I'm very, very proud of that.
How's she coming along?
She's doing well. I mean, I knew her. I started mentoring her back when she was still in high school. So she went from being a youth program participant,
Yeah.
and then she finished high school. She went into college. She finished college. So now she is a college-educated associate director of social service program in New York City. So
all right.
I'm really proud of that. Very proud of that. And she and I have also had the opportunity to work together, at a couple of organizations. So she's doing very well, and she continues to make progress. She wants to go back to school, and she wants to continue to grow in her career.
Yeah. Say her name again.
Oh, I didn't mention. I'll just say her first name, Lanish, because she's kind of shy, so she might be embarrassed. But her first name is Lanish, and again, we've known each other for quite a while, and she's doing very well.
Well, congratulations, Lanice. Thank you for all that you're doing, and I know you're going to make a great impact in society. Now,
yes,
Janice, what motivated you to write the book, Put Life into Your Dreams?
Well, I heard a sermon some years ago. The pastor who gave the sermon, his name is Dr. Arthur Caliandro. He passed away about 9 years ago, but he was the senior minister at the Marble Collegiate Church, and I used to listen to his sermons on Sunday all the time, like for years. And he did a sermon one day. He gave a sermon one day, and the sermon was called "When You Dream, Dream Big." And he spent about 20 minutes talking about the importance of all of us having dreams. And he talked about the importance of not letting your dreams die, and the importance of working, putting in the hard work to make your dream come to pass. And I thought about how, I put so much hard work into my writing, or taking advantage of all the opportunities that I had to write and to blog and finally to become an author. So I thought that was the best title for my book, because it really showed, that there was a realization of my dream of, becoming a writer. And I'm not interested in being famous. I'm not writing to be famous. I'm writing because I have a voice, and I wanted to share my voice. And it's my way of hopefully encouraging people in my corner of the world to make some changes in our society that we so desperately need.
Got to speak that voice, and dreams are not there for nothing. Dreams are there to help you with your everyday life. Where can we purchase the book?
So, my website is AuntJaniceTheMentor.blog, and I am also on Instagram at Janice Mentor. And one of my editors is still tweaking it a little bit, but it is almost done. But I've seen the draft copy, and I'm very, very, very pleased. And I just wanted to take a quick moment to read a brief excerpt from my book, and it's about mentoring. So I wrote, "If you are a mentor, know that the caring relationship you create and maintain with a young person is vital. Your voice and your advocacy on behalf of young people are critical. Mentoring does indeed matter. Mentoring lets our young people know that they matter."
Well, Janice, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Thank you for coming on. You're always welcome to come on, okay?
Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity, as always.
Janice Jenkins, author, mentor. Put your life into your dreams. It's important. All right, Janice, thank you so much. We'll take a break, and we've got more coming up next right here on Open. next guest is the vice chair of the Democratic National Committee. Of course, he was the assemblyman out of the Bronx for the 79th District, but he's joining us today to share his thoughts on what was a historic day in our nation's capital with the inauguration of President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris, along with U.S. Senators Warnock and Ossoff. And, well, they're from the state of Georgia. Please welcome to the show, former New York State Assemblyman Michael Blake. He's in the house. He's the vice chair of the Democratic National Committee. How are you? Welcome.
Dr. Lee, always good to be with you, my brother. How you doing? How you feeling with everything happening right now?
I'm hanging in there, and I was about to ask you what was going on in the world of politics and what you thought, because, you know, you've been behind the scenes with President Barack Obama, so you knew how that whole thing worked. Can you give us like an overview or an inside view of the whole situation?
Well, you know, it's been a pretty surreal journey about, 13 years later, because I remember having lunch with our now Vice President Kamala Harris on caucus day in Iowa, when it was me, her sister Maya, her brother-in-law Tony West. I remember moments in 2008 in Michigan when then Senator Biden was speaking to Democrats in Macomb County and saying to them, I understand some of you are not going to vote for my friend. Here's why you're going to vote for my friend. And to see the evolution of us getting to this point now, where on the same day, we had a President Biden, a Vice President Harris, a Senator Padilla, a Senator Ossoff, a Senator Warnock, in which I campaigned in Georgia the last few days for them and with them in the last few months for them. It's the true beauty of the country. And, Dr. Lee, I think when you're truly reflecting on this, the fact that a Black Asian woman will be breaking ties and was sworn a Latino, a Black man, and a Jewish man, and you have the second Catholic in becoming our president, that shows what's possible. And so it felt good, it felt amazing, but now there's a lot of work to be done.
Man, that's that beautiful mosaic coming together right there. That's an example of what can be. So what do you look forward to? Before you get into that, how did you feel about the whole inauguration that took place?
Well,
how did that make you feel?
I had, Brian Williams on MSNBC said something that really has stuck with me. And he said, you think about the last 3 Wednesdays, insurrection, impeachment, inauguration.
Wow.
Right. And so when you really internalize, this has been quite the January. This has been a year already, and it's only been January 21st at this point. It's that magnitude moment. And to see it all, one, was remarkable. 2, as a Bronxite, to have Supreme Court Justice Sotomayor.
There you go.
To have J-Lo, to have that energy. I'm still wondering what was A-Rod and President Obama talking about so long too, right? So, it makes you feel good. And I really do believe because of the inauguration, you're going to have thousands, if not millions of people pay attention to politics in a way they didn't before. And so, that's the reflection moment. How many people watched the Electoral College count who never cared about it before? How many people watched from beginning to end the inaugural festivities? How many people are now really trying to understand, well, what is this 100 days and what's the importance of this 100 days? And so as someone who's had that honor of being there and serving there, it has really been impactful. And I'll close on a very brief anecdote. I worked on both inaugurations for President Obama, Vice President Biden. And the one moment that always stayed with me was on the first inauguration, being on the bus with the King family, going to the Capitol.
Wow.
And really not having the words of what knowing to say. And then they turned to us and said, thank you. And to think now that the inauguration was a swearing in of the preacher for King's pulpit, to be the last person to sign in that book to now give 50-50 for a Senate majority, where a lot of people don't realize this. Reverend Raphael Warnock has New York roots. He was at Abyssinian Baptist in Harlem.
That's right.
So it was just full appreciation of the power of God, that, we make plans and God laughs. And that's what we saw happen in many ways.
Wow. So where do we go from here? what do you think is going to happen from here? Do we have the power to move about the cabin, so to speak?
Well, immense ways. Well, first, even though it's 50-50, Senator Majority Leader Schumer has that power because as Majority Leader, he could advance anything out of a committee, even if it's tied. So there's massive opportunity. The chair of committees to be able to move forward. We saw the first confirmation of a cabinet member in Avril Haines, Director of National Intelligence. And now when you think about the agenda from the Biden-Harris administration, and it just feels good saying that, the Biden-Harris administration, right? That you had the executive orders immediately. There will be a massive effort around COVID-19 out the gate. The focus on racial equity, the fact that Susan Rice, Domestic Policy Council Director, conveyed that every agency has to determine a work plan on how to eliminate systemic racism and report back within 200 days.
Wow.
So, this is transformational. And to make it real plain for all of us here in New York and everyone in the Bronx, when you want to get back to a livelihood, of reopening of schools, of reopening businesses, of having just normalcy in any form, there has to be a real plan. And that comes from funding from the federal government, and it comes from a strategy and execution. So this will be a tough 100 days. We need to be clear about that. But this 100 days will give us a chance for many more days thereafter.
You think the governor is going to get the funding that we need here in New York?
I do believe that, because at the end of the day, livelihood should not be impacted by party, by last name, by zip code. And we cannot ignore that New York, and in particular the Bronx, was the most devastated and impacted when it came to COVID-19. And so we have that responsibility to move quickly. And I do believe that New York is going to get that funding and support. But it's not just the funding, it's the mindset that has to go along with that around racial equity. We know because of Tuskegee and Henrietta Lacks and so many reasons that Black folk are going to be hesitant for many reasons, legitimate reasons. And so we have to make sure that we have a broader awareness campaign on why people need to believe that this could be the path that heals us to go even further.
Assemblyman, how can we follow you? I keep calling you Assemblyman.
Well, it's still there. So the appropriateness is all good. So So follow us at MR Mike Blake on Twitter. I'm encouraging you to do that, everybody, at MR Mike Blake. Especially be on the lookout. There will be some special things that are going to be announced in short order on something transformational that we're working on for the Bronx in collaboration with Monroe College. So stay tuned and be on the lookout.
I know we will. I know you will be doing some great things. So we'll be looking forward to it.
Appreciate it, Dr. Lee. Good to see you.
All right. Former Assemblyman Michael Blake, Vice Chair, Democratic National Committee. My brother, Michael Blake. God bless you. Stay safe.
You as well, brother.
All right. We'll take a break. I've got more headed your way next, right here on Open.
When taking public transportation, don't touch your phone. Carry hand sanitizer and use it immediately upon leaving the bus or train. Avoid touching your face. If someone is coughing or sneezing, move away. Wash your hands with soap and water as soon as possible. Limit contact with poles. If possible, avoid rush hour. Don't eat or drink on public transportation. Keep your bag off the floor or other surfaces. Avoid directly touching turnstiles. Stay up to date with the latest from your local health department and CDC.
welcome back, everybody. I'm the Doc Bob Lee. You're always welcome to tune in and check it out. We have another fantastic guest, and she's a registered nurse and founder of Agni New York. She joins us today to speak about her online store and how it's helping others to live healthy, that healthy eating, healthy living thing, and a more holistic type of lifestyle. She also speaks about her fundraiser for the I Fund Women. I Fund Women. It's a platform. Please welcome to the show, Thureiyya Rodriguez. Welcome.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
So first, tell us about that online store.
So Agni New York, Agni means fire in Sanskrit. And what it is a store that I actually just created back in June of 2020. And the focus is about bringing products that are from local artisans, female primarily, and minimal ingredients. And the thing is it's all about promoting relaxation, because when the body's in a relaxed state, then you have more ability to heal, and go through your challenges, because you can ground yourself and think about, okay, what do I need to do in order to, get over my challenges and get better.
Yeah. Now, you're into Western medicine. You're a registered nurse. How did you get into the holistic side of it?
So I have Crohn's disease. I've had it for 36 years. I'm 46 now. And one of the things that had helped me was the Western medicine. Even though I still go to a regular physician, I still take treatment, I combine the two together. And it has made a huge difference in my life, especially with Crohn's, because it's the inflammation of the small intestines.
Yeah.
And
do you get pains in the abdominal area and everything?
I do. I get a lot of pains. I'm in and out the hospital. Well, now not like before when I was a kid, but the hospital was like my everyday. I would stay 3, 4, 5 months. But one of the things that I've incorporated is the relaxation. So it helped me to get over that and to achieve. And so one of the things that I love about it is that even while I'm in school, I had the stress and then dealing with the disease. And so I wanted to bring that back into the store and share it with others, who come to the store and they come read the blogs.
And so when you found out that you wanted to start this store and you wanted to name it Fire because you caught something that, hey, this is something that's very, very helpful. I'm going to call this Fire in Sanskrit.
Absolutely. Fire is what it's all about. I'm in yoga and with a lot of Western medicine. When you can heat up your inner core, the digestive part, that's where everything happens, right? In digestion. And a weak Agni or a weak fire, you can't digest, the stomach's not working right. You feel a little lag. So yeah, definitely heat up the fire and get it going and overcome challenges and keep moving forward. I mean, that's what it's about. It's about moving forward. One day is today and tomorrow's another day, right?
Yeah. And how were you able to cope with the pandemic?
With the pandemic, it's been good. I have my bubble. And so maybe I'm a little fanatic about saying, did you take your test? Are you coming to visit? Where have you been? But for the most part, it's been good. I keep busy and
you wipe everything down?
I wipe everything down. That's me. I have the sanitizer at the door. So that is me. So I'm definitely the pro advocate for sanitizing and washing hands.
What do you think about the vaccine? Should people take it? Should people be cautious? Should people maybe try to find some way to work it out where they can get the injection?
I think that when it comes to vaccines, everybody has their own opinion, right? So I'll give an example. So we had a family reunion, and my aunt is retired from NIH, which is where they made the vaccines, right? So that's what she was a chemist. And we had half of a family that says no, the other half says yes. And I think it's individual, but if you do the research and talk to your physician, and then maybe if you get a chance to talk to people who've taken it, then it's a better route as far as understanding, because you have 2 separate vaccines, and then now we have 2 more that are coming. So me personally, I'm not opposed to vaccines, but I think that not everything is for everybody. So, it's all definitely about doing your homework. I always say do the homework, and then you can make your final decision.
You know, people come up with all kinds of things. Of course, we have the stigma from way back with the Tuskegee project and syphilis and all that stuff. And people are skeptical about taking injections from different places, but you know, they say different things, that it'll give you, it'll change your DNA. It's going to put a chip in you. You'll be able to get followed and all that stuff. So,
no, it's true. So no, as from the things that we know, there's no chip, and actually there's a video, and it actually shows you what happens when you take the vaccine, because it's not a live virus. So we always say, watch the video, because it really helps you to see how it'll show the actual molecule of the coronavirus, and then what happens after you take the vaccine, and how it changes, and it creates a barrier more so for you. And that's what it's about. It's about creating the barrier. So I think that, you know, even me, I'm like, oh, I was a skeptic at first, and I'm like, I don't know, you know, because it's all brand new, right? And so, but at the end of the day, I do go back and ask questions, and I did my homework, and then I reached out to the right resource. It's all about the right resource.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So in the meantime, the 3 W's: wear your mask, watch your distance, and wash your hands.
Yes. Washing.
Yes. Especially when you have the whole family
important.
over, you don't know where everybody's been. You know what? Hey, wait, hey. You know.
Yeah, exactly. And then, you know, and knowing your bubble. So if you don't know your bubble, then it opens you up for other things. So definitely wash your hands, wear your mask, and keep your distance, but know your bubble. If somebody in your bubble is like out and about and free will, then maybe that's the time to say, hey, wait a minute, you can't come today, but you can always come back. But can you go get tested?
Let's just
wait. Yeah. I love you from a distance, but I can't love you up front.
Yeah. So tell us about your new platform, I Fund Women.
So I Fund Women. Oh, so the fundraiser. So I Fund Women. I actually really like this platform. It provides the opportunity. They have one for women of color specifically, and then they have the traditional I Fund Women. And so you pitch your campaign, you tell what your focus is, and then you can actually, like, if someone donates, they will actually get something for the donation. It's not like, you know, you're just going to give. You know, I actually have it like listed where you'll receive a product for your donation based on the donations. But the thing that I like is because they actually give you a lot of support on the I Fund Women. So I'm trying to raise money now, since I am a new business, and I have an end goal with the business, but I have to scale it first, right? Yeah. So the funds that I get from the I Fund Women is actually to help to grow the business, increase my team. Because right now I am the team, it's just me. But I can't be everything, and I can't be the know-all of everything either. I need, help from others. And the campaign is running right now for about, for a year, it's a little bit less than a year. And you go in, you donate on the platform, and then I take those funds, I give shout outs on my Instagram, and then I utilize the funds that come in to actually help grow the business. And I Fund Women also gets a percentage out of it as well. And they use that to give free money to women who are looking for support. So it's like a double.
Yeah, I like it. How do we get involved? How do we get involved and maybe help you raise your funds?
So if you go to my Instagram link, which is agni.ny, under my profile, you'll see the link, and then you click it, and then it'll open you up so then you can click the I Fund Women link. Also, it allows you to see the products that we have, and then my About Me page, and the reason why I started the store.
What's the name of the store?
Agni, New York.
There you go. All right. and before we go, because they're going to get me out real quick, your first name, Thureiyya, means what?
It means high star in the east.
Like a high star in the east, and the other name is Fire.
And Fire, all together.
Thureiyya, thank you so much. We appreciate you. We love you. You're always welcome back. Stay safe. Be blessed. We'll take a quick break right here, but coming up next, Bobby C has the latest in the world of sports. Next on Open.
When taking public transportation, don't touch your phone. Carry hand sanitizer and use it immediately upon leaving the bus or train. Avoid touching your face. If someone is coughing or sneezing, move away. Wash your hands with soap and water as soon as possible. Limit contact with poles. If possible, avoid rush hour. Don't eat or drink on public transportation. Keep your bag off the floor or other surfaces. Avoid directly touching turnstiles. Stay up to date with the latest from your local health department and CDC.
Been some couple of weeks for New York sports, and to talk about it with us this morning, we've got veteran radio sports reporter from WFAN, CBS, and AP Radio, Mike Mancuso. Mike, how's it going? How are you?
Hey, Bobby, how are you?
It's so great to see you. It's been a while.
Yes.
Appreciate you coming on the show. You know, so definitely some notable headlines here to start January 2021. It's been a good month, I would say, for the most part, for the landscape of New York sports. You've got some pretty good things going on. James Harden, of course, traded to the Brooklyn Nets. Francisco Lindor traded to the New York Mets. Yankees re-signed DJ LeMahieu. They add Corey Kluber. The Jets hire a new head coach and the coveted Robert Saleh. Knicks have played better, and the hockey locals back to action. I think some promising things going on there. Wanted to start with, I guess, the expectations for the Lindor move. So what do you think? You think this is going to end up having the impact that, let's say, the Rangers trade for Mark Messier had for the Rangers on the Mets, with the Mets getting Lindor?
I don't know if it'll reach that level because just the nature of the sports are different. However, I do think that this was an extremely positive move. I mean, you're bringing in someone who is in the prime of their career, is, not somebody who's reached age 30, not by a long shot. He plays with a ton of youthful enthusiasm. I think he's going to be a big star in this market. And most importantly, he provides some speed and a presence that the Mets desperately need. Now, having said that, I'm a bit disappointed that they did not get Springer to play center field, but I don't know that he was worth 6 years and $150 million. I mean, you're worth what someone's willing to pay. Toronto, I think, had to overpay. I don't know at age 31 how Springer would have played out for the whole 6 years, so I really can't hammer the Mets for not signing him. But I think they're a long way from done. I think there'll be a couple more moves, but I think the move for Lindor, I think this is, for those of you who think that, maybe this is Alomar and Baega again, that was a long time ago. Those guys were a lot older. I really do think this was a win-win situation for the Mets.
Oh, I agree, Mike. I think it's been a terrific offseason so far for the Mets, aside, of course, from the news with Jared Porter. On the NBA side of things, I think Nets fans got to be excited about the prospects of pairing this trio together. So Harden looked great in the first two games, but the Nets, of course, they dropped this first matchup with KD, Kyrie, and Harden playing together. Now, I realize it's only one game and a double overtime loss, but do you foresee it being actually harder for the trio to coexist than we might have thought it might be coming into this deal?
I think you saw yesterday that Sexton went crazy, and they really didn't defend them as hard as they should have. So I think that once these guys get into a little bit of a flow, they're going to realize they need to do it defensively. Because if they go out and score 135 points, it's not going to work if they allow 136. So, last night was an example where Steve Nash can bring these guys into a room and say, look, we didn't close out on the shooter. We didn't get in his face. We didn't cover the pick and roll well enough. You guys can be the best superstars in the world. If you don't defend, we're not going to win. And I think ultimately that's going to be the win or lose, reason for the Nets. I mean, they'll obviously make the playoffs. They'll probably win a round or two. But if they're going to, get to the Final Four and have success, they're going to have to do it defensively. I think they can. I think they will buy in. But, who knows what happens with Kyrie at any given moment. But I think it showed last night they need defense. But I think it'll work.
So the Nets end up surrendering control of their first-round draft picks pretty much for the next 7 drafts, which is hard to believe. But, if the Harden deal, in terms of evaluating it, it's so difficult to say because, again, it's brand new. But if the deal ends up bearing a championship, I'm pretty sure most people would say that it's a successful trade, even if you give up all those draft picks. So I guess the big question is the Harden deal worth it if the team comes close to it but doesn't win a championship?
I would say if you do win one championship, it's worth it. If you get to a couple of finals, that's a good question. I still think it's worth it because, look, the draft picks that they're going to have are going to be low first-round picks. You figure they're not going to be in the bottom of the league. So, you're giving away picks. They know they have to swap some other picks. This was definitely a win now to surround yourself with players for Durant because he's such a, you don't really appreciate how good he was, or at least I didn't until you see him every day. And this guy can play. You want to surround yourself with players that can help him in the moment, just like the Mets with DeGrom, right? You have a dominant, you want to build your team the next couple of years and then worry about 2023 when it happens. So my concern with the Nets is more of how they'll defend than rather that they gave up draft picks.
So a couple of big blockbuster trades here in the month of January, both in Major League Baseball and the NBA here in New York. And on the other side of things, I guess some free agent signings for both teams in baseball. The biggest one probably, of course, the Yankees re-signing DJ LeMahieu. So Yanks are happy to have DJ back. They roll the dice with Kluber, as we said before. Mets are well improved. Yankees on paper, they remain very strong. But who do you think has a better shot of reaching the Fall Classic in 2021 with all the moves that have gone on here?
Depending on what goes on with the division rivals, I still think the Yankees might have a better shot only because they play well in that ballpark. I mean, LeMahieu is perfect for Yankee Stadium. He's a better hitter at Yankee Stadium than he was in Colorado. Okay, it's just a fit. I do think there is concern about the Yankee pitching staff, and Kluber is what it is. It's an $11 million risk, but why not? I don't think they're done yet. I think there'll be a lot of moves to be made. The Mets, I think they need to get that reliever Brad Hand or someone else like that. Maybe they go, and I don't know that Jackie Bradley Jr. is the answer in center field either. I don't know that they can't live without Dom Smith and Brandon Nimmo playing left and center, but that makes them very left-handed. And they need that righty bat. I think McCann will help behind the plate, and I like the way they signed McCann. I think that's going to be a better value than had they spent twice the money for Realmuto, who, not taking anything away from him, but if Realmuto is 20% better than McCann, but it's going to cost 100% more, it's better value. I think the Yankees will always contend if they stay injury-free. If Stanton, can get on the field for a reasonable amount of games, and Aaron Judge and Aaron Hicks, they've all spent a lot of time on the unable to play list. I don't want to call it the disabled list. So I think the Yankees, especially when you look at the way the Red Sox have not really improved. Tampa is still good, even though they lost some players. I would say the Yankees still have a better shot at getting to the Fall Classic, but I do think the Mets are right on their tail.
With this news of Porter being fired, and of course, kind of a scandal here, even though he's only with the Mets for a month, do you foresee that being an issue for the Masons this year, not having a GM?
No, I don't. And I think it's because Sandy Alderson is there. Now, if Sandy wasn't there, I think then there'd be an issue. But, I don't even think he got his feet wet in the job. So, it's hard to miss somebody who wasn't there. So, I think that they have enough lieutenants in place to, pick up the slack. And because Sandy's running things, they'll hire someone else eventually, but I don't think they're in a rush for it.
All right, Mike, running out of time here, so speed round, 3 quick questions to close this one out. Jets head coaching hire, good, bad, why?
Good, because I think they just needed the energy that this guy brings. Just like with Judge and the Giants, we won't be able to tell if he can actually coach for a year or two, but I think just the energy and the control is something the Jet fans will feel comfortable about.
Very true. I agree. So who ends up having the best NHL season between the Rangers, Devils, and Islanders this year? I know there's a lot of expectations for all three.
I would say the Islanders only because of the way they're organized with Lou Lamoriello and Barry Trotz. You're as good as your ownership and you're as good as your management, and I really do think the Islanders excel in those areas.
And final question, Knicks, over under 30 wins this year. They're closing in on 10. They played pretty well to start the season.
Yeah, and listen, I'm a huge Knicks fan, so I'll caveat my remark with that, but I just don't see them winning that many games. There isn't enough shooting talent, not enough offensive talent, but I like the way they play defense, and I do think that hopefully they're heading in the right direction.
Well, I think things are looking up on the sports landscape, and I'm very hopeful, Mike, that things will be looking up in 2021 across the board. So great to see you. Looking forward to maybe being back in some press boxes where I could see you in person, too.
All right, Bobby. Thank you. My pleasure.
Welcome back, everybody, of the Doc Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS and Bronx Net. Our next guests, there's a lot of them, are the founder of the Green Bronx Machine, affordable housing executive for Canberra Property Group, as well as the former MMCC Board of Director President and current developmental chair and MMCC Chief Executive Chair And they join us today, all of them are here. They join us today to speak about how their individual efforts have impacted our community and to react to being the honorees in this year's Mosholu Montefiore Community Center Virtual Gala. So please welcome to the show, Melissa Bendra, Stephen Ritz, Rob Weiss, and Rita Santalea. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Mr. Fritz, please tell us about your organization, the Green Bronx Machine, and what inspired you to start this passion project?
So here at the Green Bronx Machine, we grow vegetables, our vegetables grow students, our students grow schools, and just like MMCC, we are delighted to grow happy, healthy, resilient communities. One student at a time, one classroom at a time, one neighborhood at a time.
And what made you want to start that? Because I want to eat what you're eating because, you know, it gives you that energy.
You do want to eat what I'm eating because we are growing right here in a 110-year-old building in the middle of public housing, food, healthy, fresh, organic food, 365 days a year using 90% less water and 90% less space, Dr. Bob.
There you go. I like it. Send some over to the TV station.
Listen, I got a Bronx salad for you waiting anytime you want to come visit, my man.
Well, your salad and the water that they send over to us, woo, will be up there.
Come on.
All right. Melissa, how are you?
Good. Thank you for having us.
Tell us about your organization.
Sure. At Camber Property Group, we build, preserve, and we own and operate affordable housing all throughout New York City. And so our partnership with MMCC has been a really valuable part of that. We've been working with them for the last 2 years to open and plan for new child development centers at some of our developments, one in Fordham Heights and another in Soundview. And we're really excited about some plans that we have with them to open affordable housing developments with targeted youth services that MMCC is going to run.
I like it. I like it. Mr. Weiss and Miss Rita, can you tell us about your views? Tell us more about the Montefiore Community Center and what services that you guys offer.
So at Mosholu Montefiore Community Center, we offer services from 3-year-olds to 103. So it's after school, childcare. We work with adolescents. We offer workforce development. We're training our kids in culinary. We're training our kids to get a CDL license. We do it all. We even have a support services department where we, offer free tax services, SNAP, whatever issues and concerns. We really do take care of our clients from the minute they walk in until they're ready to exit in whatever way they want to exit.
Wow.
We also have a large pantry that has really played a crucial role during COVID. We, on the average, when pre-COVID, we really serviced about 800 families a month. We are now at 2,000 families a week at the height, and currently we're 3,000 a month because we scaled back a bit because of funding and things like that.
I like it. Rob, what do you guys do? What part do you play and how did you guys come together?
Well, interestingly enough, I'm a neighborhood kid. Mosholu Montefiore Community Center is on the Gun Hill Road and DeKalb Avenue.
All right.
And I grew up on Bedford Park Boulevard and went to junior high school 80. Made a lot of friends there who used the center, and that's how I first got involved with it. Fast forward, as an attorney, I met someone who was representing another client in a matter, and he was on the board of MMCC and told me about it. I told him my story. And I even met my wife in the day camp at MMCC. And so he asked me if I'd like to join the board, and I did. That was about 20 some odd years ago. And I just completed my second term as president of the organization. And, MMCC is just providing marvelous services, meaningful services to over 35,000 people a year in the Bronx. As Rita mentioned, it starts out with children in Head Start and nursery school programs, all the way through after school programs in elementary and middle schools, getting kids ready for college through training, SAT training, and helping deciding on colleges. For those kids who aren't going to college, vocational programs and getting them ready for job readiness. And then working with seniors, we have wonderful day camp in Harriman, New York, where a lot of kids who wouldn't otherwise get the opportunity to get out of the city have a wonderful summer. So, you know, it's just a great variety of programs, very meaningful. It's a diamond in the Bronx.
Well said.
Well said. And so you guys have come together to help others get what they need out of life. And I think it's a wonderful thing that you guys have stepped into it. And I don't know, did you guys know each other? How did you find out about each other?
Yeah, I'm going to jump in because you are 100% correct. Since 1958, MMCC has changed lives and built communities, one person at a time. I'm a proud graduate of the program, a Bronx native, a kid who walked to that center, and most of the success that I owe to my personal and professional career were skills honed in that center. And I'm asking every single Bronx resident, Manhattan resident, and person who has graced those doors and whose doors have graced them to get involved in this fundraiser. Because, you know, the center for me as a child was a place of absolutely limitless expectations. But the only way that this center will continue to grow is by everybody's support. So if you've held a job there, I'm asking you to get involved. If your life has changed, get involved. Dr. Bob, I saw my first Harlem Wizards game in the basement of that building. And I've never met a person who's come through the doors of Mosholu Montefiore Community Center whose life has not been touched and made better for that time spent there. So it is perhaps the cornerstone institution of the North Bronx, serving absolutely everybody, year after year, families, generations. It is the absolute epicenter of our community, and now more than ever, it needs our support.
Melissa? Bob, if I was going to sum up,
Bob.
If I was going to sum up everybody on this call, it's really where opportunity meets effort, and the opportunity of all these relationships, the relationship between Camber and MMCC, the relationships between us and Steve, and how Steve got started in doing this. It's a wonderful story. It's probably too long for this particular segment, but I encourage people to check into Steve Ritz's websites and learn more about the Green Bronx Machine. But it's really, you know, where just an opportunity to do something, and the will and the excitement about doing it has led to really providing great services, whether they be, you know, affordable residential housing and the services that go along with it, or the opportunity to grow food, teach kids about healthy food, provide healthy food to families, and just create just a very meaningful and life-changing experiences throughout what everybody does.
Rita, Melissa, last words?
Go ahead, Melissa.
I just can't say how proud we are to be involved, to be partners with MMCC. Everything they do, you know, it's so clear how much of themselves they give to the community, and we're proud supporters.
Yes.
And Dr. Lee, I can't thank you enough for making the time. We're an incredible agency, clearly affiliating ourselves with awesome people. Steve and Melissa really represent the quality of work that we do. These are hardworking folks that believe in the work that they do, and in turn, they believe in the work that we do. So it's an effort, and everybody here in some way or somehow, I was raised on the Grand Concourse, has a deep connection with the Bronx, and we want the best for the community. Melissa, definitely with her housing initiatives, she goes up and beyond to make sure that she affiliates herself with quality agencies, and we do the same here at MMCC. So thank you.
You're welcome. Where do we send donations to?
MMCC. You can call in at 718-882-4000, or you can visit our website at mmcc.org and make your donations. And 100% of the donations that we raise at the Gala will go directly to providing services to our constituents.
Okay.
And if you go on to MMCC,
35,000 people a year come through those doors here in the North Bronx, from ages 3 to 103. And what's the greatest nation in the world besides Bronx Nation? donation. So please make one today. Get out there and help us make Epic happen and continue to change lives.
Hey, give me the website one more time.
It's at mmcc.org, www.mmcc.
On the corner of DeKalb Avenue and Gun Hill Road in the Boogie Down Bronx. Walk in, make a visit. Come on down. You heard?
Well, thank you guys so much. It's been a pleasure sitting and talking to you. You're always welcome to come back. But unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today's show. And I want to thank you, our guests, for joining us, and you, our viewers, for tuning in and checking it all out. You can follow us on BronxNet TV for continued coverage. For all of us here at BronxNet, have a great and enjoyable day. And thank you so much for letting us share in this space and time with you. Always remember, what you are is God's gift to you, and what you make of yourself is your gift to God. To choose your choice and let your choice control the chooser. And also remember, whether you say you can or you can't, either way, you're right. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee. I'll see you over the radio, 107.5 WBLS. Love you all. Peace.